Hello, my name is Bill Johnson, and I'll be talking about my case study on internet use violations. Number one, problem identification and analysis. What I know. Slattery Steno High School is a very affluent. Dr. Harvey Smith is a well respected principal. Dr. Smith has worked hard to build Slattery Steno as one of the most prestigious in the state. And Dr. Smith only recommends the most highly qualified teachers. Dr. Smith hired Miss Tate 1 year ago to teach zoology, botany, and genetics. What do I know? As a beginning teacher, Miss Tate already completed her master's degree plus 1 more year of post-grad work. Miss Tate is not married and runs a very structured classroom focused on academics. Miss Tate's classroom structure and expectations has created high levels for her students, and Dr. Smith has received numerous calls from parents about Miss Tate's classroom expectations and her poor instruction. The problem identification analysis, what I know, continued. Dr. Smith has discussed techniques with Miss Tate to help reduce student stress and increase positive interactions with the students. Miss Tate has not yet successfully implemented any of Dr. Smith's suggestions. Parents and students continue to complain about the class workload and poor instruction by Miss Tate. So, what do I know? Continued. In November, Miss Tate's second year, she received an unidentified email that led her to a Facebook page. On this Facebook page, she was horrified to read highly offensive comments, language suggesting about her personal behavior, and critical comments about the rigors of her class. The absolute final comments that she read were, "Who wants Miss Tate to disappear?" You might know this greatly outraged her, so she quickly called Dr. Smith and reported, "They've threatened to kill me," on the phone to him. Dr. Smith calmed her down and read the email and investigated the URL for the Facebook post to find out. Dr. Smith, after investigating, called Miss Tate back and concluded that he sincerely believed that it was all just a prank. And what I know continued. He asked her to think of students that may be unhappy with her lately. She mentioned the name of a guy by the name of William Hall. Dr. Smith was to make copies of the messages, and they would speak with William in the morning. Also, the district tech to find where the email came from if need be. Miss Tate thanked Dr. Smith, and she went to spend the night at her parents' house because she feared for her safety. Category number one, the problem identification analysis. What I need to know. What I need to know is who in the world is responsible for these comments. Number two, where did the email originate from? That's something we should be able to find out fairly easily. And who created the Facebook page? And who made the comments on Facebook that said, "Who wants Miss Tate to disappear?" Most of the Facebook, you have to have a user, and we should be able to find that out. What is the problem? The problem identification analysis. The immediate problem, in my opinion, is that Miss Tate feels threatened by comments on social media. And we need to get to the problem with that, or get to the root of that real quickly. The underlying problems are the students are stressed by Miss Tate and her instruction, and then parents are concerned about Miss Tate's instruction as well. And Miss Tate has not applied any of Dr. Smith's suggestions in her class as yet. Category two, proposed plan of action and appropriate strategies for implementation. My plan would be first and foremost to find out who sent the email to Miss Tate. Second, find out who started the Facebook page and posted the Miss Tate disappear comments. Finally, collaborate with Miss Tate to improve teaching and learning in her classroom. Step by step to find out where the email came from. Number one, first and foremost, work with the district technology director to find out what IP address the email came from. And if it came from a school computer, there is a clear violation of the district acceptable policy use. Next, we would treat all with fairness and an ethical manner. Don't assume that the email was sent by a student until its origins are known. Finally, determine if the email was sent to help notify Mrs. Tate of a problem or if the email was part of the problem. Many times, students will say, hey, Miss Tate, you better go check this out. Something's going on. And they're really trying to help the teacher. It was the email sent to help the teacher, or was it email meant to belittle the teacher? That's what we really need to find out. Find out who started the Facebook page step by step. First of all, work with the technology department to determine, if they can, the Facebook page, who started it. If it was started by a student, was there intent to harm Miss Tate? Is there malice going to be involved with this? Second, visit with William Hall. Does he know anything? Does he have a history of cyberbullying? Next, we're going to work with the creator of the page to understand the problems, their actions that created. If a student started this Facebook page, then we're going to turn it into a learning experience about integrity and how to get past that, and what the problems that might have created for the entire teachers, parents, and the school. Collaborate with Miss Tate to improve teaching and learning in her classroom, step by step. The first thing was I would have a meeting with Miss Tate to discuss the techniques of reducing stress for her students that we discussed earlier and why she didn't follow through with this. There could be legitimate reasons of time constraints, or she didn't understand what was expected of her. And so I would like to help her through that. The next thing is to explain to Mrs. Tate that although hard to prove, mental distress can be a form of tort liability. We want to make sure that we don't go that far or don't get accused of that. The next is we're going to continue to monitor Miss Tate's instructional practice and provide assistance when needed. I would assign her to a mentor, and this mentor would be a veteran teacher to help give her some advice. The last thing is I would assure Miss Tate, as her building leader, I will work with her to implement teaching techniques that improve her students' motivation and reduce undue stress on her students. Category 3, we're going to resolve the issues based on promoting the success of all students. What is best for the students? Well, what's best for the students is open communication lines between teachers and students. And right now, we don't have that in Miss Tate's classroom. Teachers and students need to work together to achieve positive results in the educational setting. We're all on the same team. We have to work together. And then students learn best when there is cooperation between teachers, parents, and the school, and that we trust each other. Resolution to the problem, category 3. Students, parents feel Miss Tate's instruction causes too much stress. That is an obvious concern of many of the parents here. Dr. Smith has tried to help Miss Tate, and we need to follow up with this in the discussion as outlined in my plan. And the Facebook comments have created much stress for Miss Tate as well. We need to move past this hurt and get back into where we can educate everyone. Category number 4, debriefing and reflection. What was I thinking and feeling and valuing at the time? I was thinking, first and foremost, why in the world do people turn to social media with their problems? I was also very concerned about the safety of Miss Tate, but I concluded there was no threat to kill her was made by anyone, and I didn't really want to jump to conclusions about who might have done this. I wanted to just try and solve the problem with the best fairness that I possibly could. Unresolved problems are the parents' trust in Miss Tate's instruction is going to be an unresolved situation that's going to take time to work through. There's also the unresolved issue of students' communication with Miss Tate is going to be tarnished somewhat by this. And we're also going to have the unresolved problem that there's possibility that we actually may not get to the root of the problem. Category number 4, but I'm going to have to stop for this.